because they were basically envious of the Egyptian glory, power, and civilization at the time, because there was nothing like it at that time, in Africa. Now, the eventually the Moors became, a power on their own, and achieve a lot of things in North Africa, because I mean, the Morocco and Libya, and again, when I say Morocco, at that time Morocco wasn't what we know today as Morocco. I mean, the Morocco in ancient time was, incorporated part of Tunisia, Mauritania, and Algeria. So it was a big area. And so and even Libya was practically the whole of Northwest Africa. Incorporating all those separate countries as we know them today. So they had their own history. Later on, in history, where they achieved various things, and from there they spread all over the world, and came to America eventually, went to different parts of the world. I mean, like I said, they were in Carthage during the Carthaginian Empire. As a matter of fact, in Carthage, the Moors, they fought on both sides. Some fought with the Romans, some fought against the Romans. Okay, so the Moors were playing both sides against the middle at that point in time. Okay, some of them fought with Hannibal, and some fought against Hannibal. So the Moors have always had a history of doing things like that. So you can see where where the loyalties might be divided, according to what Sarah Sutton was saying, because basically their history is one of being a mixed people. And this is the essence of who the Moors really are. I mean, as a matter of fact, during the Islamic period, we'll jump forward a little bit now. During the Islamic period, they was one of the main. One of the main things that the Moors did was to, enslave white people, specifically white women, and mix with them. They were constantly interbreeding, with Europeans. This is going Caucasian. This is going back from the time of Egypt until now. So this is nothing new for the Moors. Okay, so this is, you can consider, this is how you can see where the psychological aspect of their mentality, as far as not seeing themselves as Africans or black, come from. This is where it comes from. Okay, because their history and the root of them, or the root of their history, is that they were mixed people who mixed with these Caucasians from back then, and so what they was doing during the Islamic period is nothing new. It just goes back to their origins. Okay. So this is where you can see where, from a psychological standpoint, where their ideology might come from, as far as not want to be classified as Africans. Okay, and this is why you see them, classifying themselves as, as Moorish or Moroccans, coming from Morocco, which is North Africa. Okay, not the Nile Valley, which goes back down to Ethiopia and goes into Central East Uganda. Okay, they don't see themselves as coming from there. They see themselves as coming from North Africa. And there's a fact that that Morocco is the only country in Africa that's not part of the African Union. So from that, you can see, even though you have a lot of what we would call black people in Morocco. Okay, so as I explained to you before, the Moors are not just light-skinned people because they are a mixed heritage, but you have dark-skinned Moors or black Moors, so-called blackamoors, to light-skinned Moors. Okay, so it's a conglomeration, a mixed multitude, if you want to coin a biblical term. That was what when the Israelites left Egypt, they were left as a mixed multitude. Okay, and there were some Moors in that multitude that left Egypt during the Exodus, so-called Exodus. Actually there was, that's another story. But anyway, so this mixing with the European or the Caucasian has been a thing that started with the Moors from the very beginning. That as a matter of fact, that was their beginning. That's how they became who they are. Okay, so it's nothing new, to see them, do the things that they do, and why they won't identify with being Africans or you know black people. Okay, so this is basically as a matter during the Arabic period, there's a term the Arabics used to have called muwalad. Again, the root of that more muwalad. Okay, that means according to the Arabic lexicon that would mean protected. Okay, now what that refers to is the a child that was born of an Arab parent and an African parent, usually an African mother and an Arabic father. So now that child was a muwalad, or became protected, meaning that he would inherit from his father's side or his father's heritage. So he would be considered, when it comes to inheritance, he would be considered an Arab and not an African. Okay, so this is another thing that we have to keep in keep in consideration. You know, so this is something that goes back from way back. As a matter of fact, the word the Moors that consider themselves to be Moabites, and Moab means, according to God intelligence, by the way, of the father. Okay, and for you people that don't know, remember that Moab was the son of Lot and his eldest daughter. So he was the origin is from the divine origin is from a relationship between Lot and his daughter, and then that the first born from that relationship became known as the Moabites. Okay, so again, there's a lot of misconceptions that we need to clear up, and I just want to do my part in that, in doing that. I think my time is up, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll come back later on and give it some more. Bless.